Alrighty. Hey, how's it going? We're live. Yay. This is day 2 of our cook along challenge. Yesterday, if you were with us, we started with our prep. So we made stuffed pepper skillet and we prepped all the veggies and everything that we were going to need for our other 3 nights of cooking. And so tonight is night number 2, and we are going to make a chili lime pork. So you're going to see how quick and easy this recipe comes together now that we have got everything prepped and ready. So yesterday I used the prep and store system. So I got all of my veggies right here that we're going to be using today. We do have a couple little things that we wanted to do kind of fresh on the day, the tomatoes, the queso fresco, and we're going to go ahead and get that started. So here I've got my 12-inch cast iron skillet. If you don't have cast iron, you don't have to use cast iron. You can use just a stainless pan. I think will work really good here. Our stainless nonstick would be perfect for this. You could use a nonstick pan, but the reason I like the cast iron and the stainless is because it's going to create that bond when we sear our pork chops in here. So that is going to be really good. So I'm going to preheat this to a medium high heat. I don't want to kill it right away. I want to create a nice crust on it. So while this is preheating, I'm going to grab my chili lime seasoning. And if you don't have chili lime seasoning, you can just use your chili seasoning for this part here. And then later on, we're going to add some lemon zest, some lime zest that is going to punch that lime flavor in. So stay tuned for that. That one is a little bit of a deviation from the original recipe, but that's why you guys show up here. So you guys can see how I'm tweaking things. All right. So we're going to season this. Give that a little shake. Season up these beautiful pork chops really, really well. So make sure you cover all those inches, and we're just going to get real, like crazy aggressive with this because I like it really, really seasoned. Flipping over. And actually, one tip that I have for you guys is what I did, and what I've been doing for a while now, is instead of buying individual pork chops, get like one of those pork loin roasts. If you can catch them on sale, they are a steal because you can take them. And what I did was just slice the big pork loin roast into individual chops. Dude, I got a pork loin roast. I think it was maybe $7, and it was legit this big. I got 9 pork chops. No, 11. I got 11 pork chops out of it. And I mean, if you can tell, I made them. They're nice pork chops. They're kind of hefty. And I got 10 pork chops out of that. So that is going to easily be 2 meals. And I only spent $3.50 on the protein. I'm like winning all day long with that. Alrighty. And get these really, really nice and seasoned. There we go. It's just hella aggressive over here. I'm gonna add just a little bit of salt. Just for this one side, and I'll add some more salt when we got them in the skillet. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Kind of push that seasoning into that meat. Oh yeah. All right, now this is nice and heated up. I love cast iron. It heats up like nobody's business. I love it. All right. So before I do that, put a little oil in the pan. Probably about, say, a tablespoon, give or take, maybe 2. There we go. And there we go. Perfect. All right. Now we'll put these bad boys in. I'd love to hear that sizzle. And we'll lay these all around. And then since I have a family of 5, we're gonna put 5 pork chops in here. Try not to crowd it. If you have a bigger family, you might want to work in batches for that. All right, so these I'm gonna put on my finger. There we go. When the pork chops are ready to come out, I'll let them hang out in my insulated bowl to stay warm, and they are gonna carry over cook the rest of the way. So I'm gonna cook them to about 140. It's like the magic number there, and then they'll carry over the rest of the way. That way they won't overcook. Lean pork like this can really go fast. You know, you put it in the pan and it's probably around like 40 degrees, maybe, if it's been sitting out on the countertop for a little while. And it can take maybe like 10 minutes to get from like 140 all the way up to say 120. But that 120 to overcooked can happen like that. So you kind of want to keep an eye on them, watch them real close. If you have a meat thermometer, this is a great time to get that handy. All right. So while these are smelling amazing, I want to just let you know that if you would like to join in during this cook along, the link for that is in the description of the video above. And just click that and you can jump in. There's a little registration form to fill out. Once you do that, I'll send you the link to all the things. So you'll have the recipes, you'll have the ingredients, the shopping list, all the things to recreate this at home in your kitchen. And I mean, I did Aldi for all of my shopping, and I think I spent maybe about $80 for these 4 meals, which isn't bad for a family of 5. It's about $20 a meal. So it works out to about $2 a serving. So score. All right. So while this is heating up, let me pop over to Facebook land so I can see any comments that come in. All righty. So one of the things with cooking pork chops, any kind of meat, when you want to create a nice sear, you have to resist the urge to fiddle with it. Resist the urge to mess around and flip them over and move them around. Let them sit. Let the cast iron pan do its work and create that nice crust for you. So we're going to cook them on each side for about 4 minutes each. Then we're going to take them, let them rest, and get to work on our veggies. All right. Making sure I've got you guys pulled up here, trying to like watching Zoom and my computer at the same time. So forgive me if you pop in. If you're here, say hi. So I'll know you're hanging with me. All right. There we go. Okay. So now that we've got our pork hanging out, we've already got our peppers, our onions, we've got our corn and zucchini already sliced up and ready to go. So we just have to drop that in the pan. But we do have these tomatoes to contend with. Now, tomatoes, they have a lot of water in them. So this is not something that I wanted to do on the day. So we're just gonna slice all of these in half. You can use a paring knife to do that, and you have plenty of time to do that because these aren't needed until the end of the recipe, but there is a better way, and that is using the cut and seal. This product has little pressure plates on the top and the bottom, and it's great for things like slicing tomatoes, slicing up grapes, olives, any little thing that you don't want to chase around your cutting board that you slice in half. It's also great for bagels, English muffins. You can even slice meats in here. If you have like really thick pieces of chicken or really thick pork chops that you want to slice in half to create more portions out of, you can do that with this. And this bad boy is dishwasher safe. So especially if you've cut meat on it, you can throw it right in the top shelf of your dishwasher and get it all nice and clean for you. Let me grab my knife. Pretty. I used it earlier. With a forged cutlery, every now and then you want to run it through the honing tool, and this has got two ceramic bars here that take the edge of the blade and bring it back into alignment. They don't have to be sharpened very, very often, maybe depending on how often you're using your knife, that is. Maybe once, twice a year. But you shouldn't really need to do it a lot more than that. But honing, running it through here, you want to do that maybe every time or maybe every other time you use your knife. Now with your knife, if you look at the edge of this blade and you get really close and look at the edge, if you see little divots along the edge of your blade, little divots along the edge, that is the time that you need to sharpen your knife, because what sharpening does is it actually removes part of the metal in order to bring the edge of the blade back to an even edge. But otherwise, sometimes when it gets a little dull, if you look at it and you're not seeing those little divots, that's when you definitely need to run it through your honing tool. So just put it in here, give it some pressure, and just run it right down. And you'll feel some resistance, which you're supposed to, but you'll do that 2 or 3 times, and it should bring your edge right back. Now that's the rule with these like forged cutlery knives. All right, we are at 4 minutes, I do believe. I'll flip. Oh, yeah. Look at that beautiful crust. I don't know if you guys can see that. So good. I'm going to switch out my tongs here. But can you see that nice little edge crust there? That is gorgeous. Gorgeous. All right. So 4 more minutes on this side, and then we're going to start in sauteing our veggies. All right. While we wait for those 4 minutes, let's get these tomatoes done. And I'm going to put those right in there. Close the lid and put the knife right here in the middle. Now I don't want to push down too much because I don't want to create too much resistance for my knife, but it just kind of holds things in place. And what I love about this is my hand is up here on the lid, far away from where this blade is. And so you just take the blade and just run it right through, just like that. And now, bring this close to you, I can see all of my tomatoes have been sliced in half. Just that quick. It's amazing. It's amazing. Well, I don't think I need all these potatoes. I will save some for my salad tomorrow. There we go. Beautiful. All right, and this is the closing cut. Great, great product. All right. Let me just take a peek. Let's see how these bad boys are doing. I think we're at about 133. So that means we're going to give them maybe another 2 minutes or so, and they should be perfect. Perfect to hang out and rest here. Okay. Again, no touchy, don't fiddle with it. Let that crust start to form. It's building up all those layers of flavor right there in the cast iron. So you don't want to mess with that at all. Now, with this recipe, you could, if you're not a fan of pork or your family just doesn't eat pork, all good. You can do chicken breast in here, just as easy. The flavors will work. Chicken breast is a nice blank canvas. You can do just about anything to it. And the chili lime seasoning is amazing on chicken too. So you guys would really enjoy that. All right. Oh, and before I forget, tonight at 8 o'clock, Pampered Chef's Test Kitchen Live is happening. And I can put the link for that in the comments a little bit later when I'm done with this. I'll put the link to Test Kitchen Live in the comments, or if you are familiar with my website, go to my website, click at the top banner where it has live events, click on there, and it can take you to the registration where you can join in on Test Kitchen Live. Now they do this now every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. It's a different recipe. They have Sandy from the home office, who was our culinary genius, comes up with a lot of our recipes and cooking techniques. It does amazing teaching home cooks like me how to get dinner on the table. So I could teach you how to do the same. And she does recipes that you have consultants from around the country pop into their kitchen, much like you're popping into mine, and do recipe demos alongside Sandy. It's really fun, really exciting. And tonight's recipe is a sheet pan dinner. So they are doing sheet pan dinners, putting everything on the pan, shoving it in the oven, my kind of cooking. So stay tuned for that. That's happening again at 8 o'clock tonight. So be sure to log into there. And they always have like a special running. They'll have like, for anyone who joins live, there's like a coupon code. So you can jump in and check out the coupon code. And they have special giveaways, all kinds of goodies, all kinds of goodies. Last week, they had some new products from the new fall line that they were giving away. It was awesome. It was awesome. Okay, I think I've talked for 2 minutes. We'll check and see where we're at. All right, you are not where I want you to be, but you definitely are. Yep. What man? I think my pen might be a little off center. It's all good. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect little pork chop. Bring it to the big one. You think that's funny, do yeah. Well, I'll leave that one. Not for you, for me. It just needs another just quick minute while I go and grab my garlic. Yeah. And my wallet. Yummy. It's gonna be yummy today. Yummy to our tummy. Except for Samantha. Except for Samantha. Samantha will eat. I promise you, she will. He won't. You don't think so? Yeah. He won't. No. Maybe. And you're giggling. Giggling in the background. Let's see here. I just got this one and see 145. You are lying to me. All right. So that goes in, and our pork chops are going to hang out in our bowl here while we continue to build some amazing flavors with the rest of our ingredients. Now, yesterday, again, we did a lot of prep work, and one thing that we did get done was our corn. So I am going to grab the corn, and we're going to put the corn in now. The corn just adds an amazing just pop of sweetness to it to kind of offset some of those the warmth from the chili lime rub. And get all the corn juices in there. Hold on. All right, let me. All right. Well, get this corn in. We're going to cook this for about 4 minutes or so and just kind of work it along the bottom of the pan. And the corn, as it releases a little bit of that water, is going to start to char, and it's going to mingle with the pork and the seasoning that was down there too, and that fond, F-O-N-D, that we created by searing those pork chops. Get all of that goodness in there. There we go. And we're gonna just char this. So I turn my heat up just slightly, because I don't want to cook them until they're mushy, but I do want to get a little bit of color on there. So 4 minutes for that. Now, if you are craving this recipe and you just cannot find fresh corn in the supermarket, you can use frozen corn, but frozen corn has a lot of water in it. It's just from the freezing process. It happens, can't help it. My suggestion would be to measure out, I think there's probably about a cup and a half or so of fresh corn here. So measure that out and sit it in a colander like this. Let it defrost, let some of that water drip out of it, and then put it in the pan and sear it. It's not, the texture is going to be a little bit different because it's frozen, it just is. But getting some of that water out will help kind of create that nice charring effect that you want on the corn without all that extra liquid in there. But frozen corn is good too. Don't do canned. Frozen, yes. Not the canned stuff, because that just sits in water. Delicious. So do you guys cook with fresh corn? I mean, like corn on the cobs and stuff. Hey, John. Hi, Miss Sabrina. How are you? No, not you. My daughter Sabrina's like, hey, is she talking to me? I'm like, no, stay in the other room. I did not call you. All right. Corn is looking good. I'm excited. All right. So, and we're going to need 2 cloves of garlic a little bit later. So let's go ahead and get that prepped. I have the new garlic tool. This thing is so neat. It is an all-in-one garlic prep system, okay? You can slice garlic up here. You can dice garlic, flip it over, and now you've got a diced garlic. You pop this open and it will store the garlic as you process it, but it also has in it the garlic peeler right here. The logo's upside down. There you go. The garlic peeler and a little cleaning brush to clean everything up. Now it's dishwasher safe, but sometimes you may get little chunks of garlic in there. You have to clean out with the brush, and it comes with the cleaning brush right there. It's amazing. It even has this little bumpy plate here that you can use, and flip it over it like that, and you can use this to create garlic paste. So if you are making like dressings or marinades, or wanted to put it into like a garlic dip or something like that, even some hummus or something to punch up the garlic flavor, you can create garlic paste that way. I swear this thing does not want to stay on my stove. You can create garlic paste and have that ready to go. All right, so these are really tiny garlic cloves. So I have some bigger ones. Oh well, we'll make do by just adding a couple extra, you know. I think sometimes in recipes, the number of garlic cloves is merely a suggestion. You just do what feels right to you. And today, with these teeny tiny little cloves, four garlic cloves feels right to me, so that's what we're gonna go with. All right, so to peel the garlic, all you have to do is just put it in there, skin and all, right into the center. Then use the palm of your hand to just roll on the countertop like that. And out falls the garlic without its peeled. Ah, there you go. It's all peeled. Simple, so simple. There we go. Now you do have to peel the garlic to use the little garlic tool. And it works better when it's all peeled and nice. Oops, that wasn't quite. There we go. And one last one. There. All right. And I will, since we're doing this in the skillet, hey, get back in there. We are gonna do the minced garlic. That'll give us the nice, intense garlic flavor right in there. So I'll take this and make sure the open side is on the side where I'm gonna be mincing. And just put the garlic right there and close this down, just like that. And we can see in there, as the garlic falls in. And everything stays ready for me. Oops, that one got a little off center. There we go. Get in there. You gotta make sure the garlic is in the middle of the plate. Otherwise, it will try to escape, save its own life. But we will eat you today. All right. So now that the corn is good, we're going to add our next layer, and that is our bell pepper and our onion. Now, for this recipe, the way it was written is more of a diced bell pepper onion. You can throw them into the manual food processor if you want to. Me, it's another step that really isn't necessary, especially when I was prepping everything ahead of time and already gathering everything in slices. So that's what we're going to use. So I'll use 1 bell pepper's worth here. There we go. And onion. And again, if you were with me yesterday, you know that the recipe called for red onion. I was already using yellow onions and I wasn't buying a separate one. So yellow onion it is for today as well. And just kind of guesstimate about 1/3 of the onion in here because we're going to be using onion in the next 2 recipes as well. All right. So these are there. And we'll get these sauteed. Now, one thing to note, because I did opt for slices instead of mincing everything up in the manual food processor. It's going to take maybe a minute more to cook, but that's all good. Once again, we're just kind of marrying all these flavors together. And with bell peppers and onions, you don't have to necessarily cook them till they're mushy. You can just give them about 3 to 5 minutes hot in the pan. Yeah, and they will be good to go. All right. We're going to kind of let them sweat it out a little bit until they are translucent. All right. So I had mentioned earlier that if you didn't have chili lime seasoning, you could use just a chili seasoning, like you would like make a chili with. And you could grab a lime, and we're going to grab some lime zest off of our lime. And we're going to go ahead and do that while we wait for our onions and peppers to get right. So just take a lime and just run it through my zester here. And I want to use my lime zest as opposed to my lime juice for this, because I don't, since we're using tomatoes, I don't want to put too much acid into this dish. But I do want to bring that lime flavor to the party, and the zest is the best way to do that. And this will help to punch up that lime flavor at the end, give it a nice, fresh, bright taste that I think is going to kind of help bring it all together. And you just want to run the zester over the lime. You don't want to go all the way down to the white part. You don't want to sit here and saw at it. You just want to pull that top layer of color off, because that is where those essential oils live, and that is where the flavor is. So I got that. Put that over here to the side. We'll just sprinkle that on at the end. And you can wedge this and add this as a garnish on the sides. People can kind of squeeze a little bit of extra lime juice in there if they want. If you want to be real fancy, you can do that. The lime shouldn't go to waste. Or throw it in some water or some lemonade or sweet tea. Sweet tea with a little lime. It's a twist, but it's a good one. We are getting pretty close to the translucent phase here. That is looking good. See, they are like just caramelizing, getting kind of floppy. They are in good shape. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so next we are going to add our zucchini and our garlic. So our zucchini, again, we sliced this up yesterday in little half moon shapes. So just cut the zucchini in half and slice it into half moons, maybe about a quarter inch or so. There. Now the zucchinis, again, we're just gonna get those kind of translucent as well. And all of our garlic. Garlic. Somebody needs to invent that. watch if you want to, if you know, together. And it's just an extra added vegetable in here. One reason why I love this recipe is it's really packed with some great summer veg. The bell peppers, corn, the zucchini. I mean, you really do just need some lemonade or sweet tea, and this is perfect. It's perfect. So we're gonna leave that and let it kind of marry some flavors together. Let that melt in the zucchini a little bit. We don't want it too um, mushy or anything, so we don't want any more than like 3 minutes or so. Um, make sure it still has a little bit of bite to it. Give that chance to you its way. So that's it. Okay, so now this is kind of almost like a fresh mozzarella texturally. It crumbles really it's like feta. It's it's an interesting cheese. Just gotta expect it's a really great cheese. It works really well in this recipe. This recipe is pretty lean and healthy. So there's not a lot of fat in this recipe. So the queso presso kind of great creamy elements to it that I think makes just probably about that. Just putting it with on the comments, hi, how are you? Gotta go watch the rest of my books. Later. Yes, so fun. Shopping lists. So you can make all of these recipes at home. They all sort of fit together. They have similar ingredients, although are different enough to be interesting. Yes, you the stuffed rice, some tomatoes. I use some bell pepper seasoning that you can throw some Italian seasoning in there too. To it. Tonight we are south of the river, cilantro, up there a little bit later. Just everything up with kind of a twist. You guys, but we're gonna do a taco chili pack. So I like cheese taco. See how it's just kind of more translucent than say this guy is. He's still holding I typically eat raw, you could, but it's not one that you typically do. So I just want to heat it through. You can have just a little bit of bite to it, again, just to add that kind of textural to it, but it's not necessary. Yellow, it's red from the bell peppers, the green from the zucchini. It's just a really rich. Yeah. So now that we have got our zucchini in this spot, I'm seasoning just to bring that flavor. Start with the tomatoes. That's really good tension here. So that's gonna kind of help the tomatoes, but I don't want to cook them necessarily. I just kind of want to pour them through enough that they start to give up just a little bit of their juices, but just not too much. So we got the tomatoes in. Yes. Here. And this binds us here as well. Just a little bit of extra flavor. Cheese in there. Perfect, perfect. Like Pinterest worthy stuff. So now we'll add our pork back in. It was resting. It gave do not want my goodness go to waste. So we'll just pour that right over the top. So pretty. So pretty. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more. Some more cilantro. There we go. Maybe just a little bit more because the pork chops are kind of hiding the cheese now. Sprinkle that on. It looks so good. It looks so good. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Let me grab, yeah. And I'll bring this closer up to the camera so you guys can see it. Look at that. Doesn't that look amazing? Oh man. I hope you guys grab that link and try this recipe because it ah this is gonna be awesome. This is gonna be awesome. And if you try it, take a picture, tag me. I want to see how it looked, how it came out in your kitchen. Of course, as always, if you ever have any questions, you can reach out to me, and I'll be happy to help you with any substitutions, like if you want to use chicken instead of pork, or if you just don't like zucchinis and you just want to leave them out, but still want something green in there, we can figure something out, maybe a little broccoli action, who knows. We'll see. We'll just play around with it and see what happens. So thank you guys so much for joining me for day 2 of the Cook Along Challenge. I hope you, again, grab that link, recipes, shopping lists, all in there for you. And join me for day 3 when we're doing honey sriracha chicken. Okay. Now I'm going to be using the Paper Chef honey sriracha seasoning, but if you don't have honey sriracha, you can do, I think it's like 2 tablespoons of honey and 1 teaspoon of sriracha. And you can crank that up. You know, if you like the spicy, you can do that. So I hope to see you tomorrow. Remember, grab the link, grab the recipes, and grab your phone and join me on Zoom tomorrow night at 6 o'clock for day 3 of our challenge. See you then. Good night, guys.